All right. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to another edition of OptiStellar session. We'll wait for a couple of seconds and allow everyone else to tune in. And it's early, so we'll probably start with introduction and then we'll wait for others to tune in. So, as I said, everyone, we welcome you all again to the OptiStellar session. My name is Shatanshu, and I'm an optimization score expert associated with Google for over 5 years now. With me, you have Siddharth. He is an auto apply specialist and joining us today. He is going to co lead the session today with me. Siddharth, do you want to quickly introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, so excited to be here. I'm looking forward to this session. My name is Siddharth, and I'll be taking you through the auto apply section. What are the auto apply recommendations? How you can use them best to optimize our campaign performance. Really looking forward to this session. I have been with Google for more than last 3 years right now, and I have a digital marketing experience in the digital marketing industry for the last 7 years. Uh, Looking forward to interacting with all of you. Over to you, Shitanshu.
Thanks, Siddharth. As I said, we'll give another 10 to 15 seconds to see if others are also tuning in because we're expecting quite a few individuals to tune in today. So we'll wait for 10 seconds. Meanwhile, those of us were already online and have tuned into the session. Throughout the session, if you have any questions, any queries, please feel free to utilize the chat options that you have. If you're joining us on YouTube, you will be able to ask us questions in the comment. We'll pick them up as and when the time permits. If you're joining us on Ads on Air, you can utilize the options to ask questions, to start a Q&A, and also to engage with our speakers today. All right. Without any further ado, Siddharth, will see you in a bit. I'll take up the session from here on, and when the time comes, I'll put you on back on the stream. Yeah. Thank you so much for your introduction. We'll see you later. Yeah. So everyone, before we start the session, we'll talk about what we have in place for today. I quickly want to talk about some opportunities here. So since you're all attending this session along with us today, there are some exciting opportunities for all the attendees. First of all, there is an option and there's an opportunity to meet the product managers that are behind Google's most influential products, including optimization score and auto apply recommendation. What you have to do is you have to ask us questions, give your feedback, and if your feedbacks are worthy, if your feedbacks are of top notch, and if your questions are of good quality, you will get invited to meet our product managers. All you have to do is you have to scan the QR code that you see on the right side of your screen. When you scan this takes you to a Google form. Submit that form, share your feedback. You make sure that you use a valid email ID and the list of CIDs that you manage so that we can reach back to you appropriately. And we'll make you engage with our product managers. You also can become part of our PE community, which is a very cohorted community of product experts on Google Ads. So if you're interested into being, a product expert, engage with the top minds of the industry, you can be that as well. And for that also, you have to engage with us. You have to ask questions, and you have to share your feedback. You also stand a chance to win Google Swag. For that, you have to engage with us live. So during the session, ask questions, and if your questions are selected as the most engaged queries and most valuable questions, you will get a chance to own a Google Swag. So those are few opportunities. As I said, to win, all you have to do is you have to be attentive towards the session, ask us questions, fill up the feedback form, and let us know what you think about optimization score and auto apply recommendation as a product. Share your feedback. and you have opportunity to win any of these three worthy opportunities that is mentioned on this screen. Now, I quickly will talk about the top three segments that we have to cover today as part of our agenda. The first one is automation in Google Ads and optimization. Of course, we'll talk about what's being automated, how automation plays a critical role in Google Ads, and then we'll also talk about how optimization score fit into that scheme of saying things at Google Ads. Later on, we'll talk about auto apply recommendation, and then we'll talk about how you can choose the best strategic recommendation for your account. I'll be your partner in the first agenda item, which is automation in Google Ads and optimization score. Later on, my co-lead and my co-host for the session today, Siddharth, will be taking you through on auto apply recommendation and also talk about how do you decide what's the best strategic recommendation for your account based on the marketing objective that you have for those individual accounts. All right. Now, if you look at the partnership between a marketer and automated product, and how does Google look at that partnership, is that we feel marketers are a key component in an agency setup. So you, if you are someone who manages account, if you're someone who runs accounts, you are an account manager at your agency, or you manage your account at your at your clients, and you are the leading role player when it comes to automation and marketers partnership. What you get to do is you get to make all the strategic decision that includes deciding the messaging, understanding your business, your client's business, and also dictating all the strategic initiative across all the accounts and across all the campaigns. For example, what kind of campaign do you want to run? Who do you want to target? What would be the appropriate conversion actions? What's the conversion action that you want to track? What's your marketing objective for that campaign? What's going to be the goal of that campaign? All those strategic decision is something which we think marketers should make. On the other hand, you should allow automated product to enable you with real-time marketing data, and with the help of those millions of signals, optimize your campaign automatically. So that's the partnership we're looking at, where marketers plays the key role of dictating the strategic decision, understanding the business requirement, deciding what kind of message you want to give out to your prominent or prospect customers. On the other hand, allowing automated product to enable you with real-time marketing, optimization by considering all the millions of signal, which is humanly impossible to do. So that's the kind of partnership which marketers and automated product we would like to see. Now, one of the concern we received during our sessions is that, hey, do you suggest that automated product would be probably taking up the responsibility that a marketers traditionally have been doing, right? We'll try to answer that question in the next couple of slides. If you look at a usual day in a marketer's life, you have so many things to juggle between, right? You have to make those strategic decisions. You have to talk to your stakeholders in terms of your clients. You also have to talk to your, say, business managers. You also have to share insights on how your campaigns are performing. At the same time, you also have to make sure that you're engaging all the touch points, digital touch points throughout the journey. So you have to drive the profitability as well. You have to plan for the future campaign at the same time as well. So maybe there is a holiday coming up, and then you have to plan your campaigns for those holiday seasons as well. So there's so much of things that a marketer has to juggle between on a day-to-day basis that it becomes almost non-feasible to manage everything individually, right? It becomes almost too crucial for an individual to take care of all of this manually. And that's where precisely this comes, optimization score and recommendation comes as a solution, or for that matter any automated solution comes as a rescue. If you look at the partnership, when you partner with automation solution, what you get, and on this illustration, what you get to say is a depiction of how human input is super critical on top of automated solution, and especially for agency partners that we have on the call. If you're running campaigns on Google Ads, and you take advantage of these advanced automated solution, you can see on an average around 20% increase in your performance. Now, if you club that with human input, you get 15% additional uplift in your performance, which means automation alone can only deliver 20% of uplift in your performance. But if you club that with human input, you get 35% of increase or improvement in your performance over a period of time. And that can be on an average based on what your conversion goals are, based on what your marketing objective is. So there's definitely an incrementality that you receive as a result of adopting into automation solution, but that needs to be done with human supervision. Human input is key for the success of this automated solution. Now, if you look at a typical day work, right, for an agency account manager, there are precisely four different buckets of things that you have to take care of. The first and foremost is taking care of all the hygiene operations, which is you have to regularly look at your account, your campaigns, see if there's anything that needs to be taken care of, to monitor if there's any, if there's any low-hanging opportunities that needs to be fixed in terms of hygiene, operation efficiency. Then also you have to take care of bids and budgets optimization, which includes making budget recommendations based on goals, looking at your campaign performance, identifying campaigns that is underpaced or overpaced, adjusting the budget accordingly, looking at bids if it's working fine for you or not, or if not, then making adjustment to your bids, monitoring and optimizing bids for optimal results. All those are part of bid and budget optimization that you also have to do as an agency account manager. Then you have something called advanced optimization. Now, this is where you run test and experiment. You make those strategic call outs. You say, hey, let me create a report and see if my campaigns are working properly or not. And then you also have something called strategic initiatives, where you design forward thinking strategies that will help your customers meet and exceed goals. You look at the future prospect, you look at the market expansion, you build and present a compelling narrative and pitching to inspire customers to adopt into new technology and invest more with your agency. Now, if you look at automated solution or automations that we were talking about so far, they help you with the first two buckets. They help you automate the first two, hygiene operation and bids and budgets optimization. Now, if you include automation, and if you take advantage of, for example, auto apply recommendation or optimization score recommendation, what you get to do is you get to focus now more on the last two buckets, which is advanced optimization and also strategic initiatives. Right, so you focus your energy towards those two goals, which needs high level of human input, which needs critical thinking, and you allow first two buckets to be automated. You allow system to automatically manage your hygiene operations, automatically make adjustments to bids and budgets optimization. So that's how a partnership between agency account manager and automated solution look like. Now, if you look at all those things that we discussed about so far, that makes a case for an automated solution to surface all the opportunities that can be taken care of in order to optimize your campaign and improve its performance. And that's where optimization score comes as a key component to help you do that. Now, what optimization score does, it helps you to manage and optimize your account and automated solutions with the help of a score that is assigned on a scale of 1 to 100. And higher the score, you know that the better the campaign is structured, better it is created, right? Now, this optimization score also comes with a set of recommendations. Now, these recommendations helps you optimize your campaign further, and in return, get a higher optimization score. So it's like you have, let's say, for example, in an account, you have an optimization score of 70%. What it means is that there is an opportunity to improve that by 30% more. And where does those opportunities lies? What are the recommendations? What are the opportunities that you can work upon in order to get closer to 100% of optimization score? Those are the opportunities that are called recommendations in your Google Ads account. The navigation to recommendation is pretty straightforward. You go to Google Ads account. In the left sidebar menu, you have something called recommendation. You click on it, and that brings a list of all the recommendations that is available for your account. Now, those recommendations are one insightful because it looks at your specific marketing objective, the conversion goals that you have for your campaigns and accounts, and accordingly it surfaces those recommendations for you. So these are very insightful They help you understand the opportunities in real time. Second is that they are a very effective way of applying and optimizing your campaign as well, because these are precisely suited and personalized for your specific campaigns. If you opt into those recommendations, you're able to efficiently or effectively optimize your campaign as well. And it's also an efficient way of doing it, instead of you having to go to each and every campaign, each and every ad group, and finding those opportunities and acting upon them. You can now clearly apply them from a single tab, and it's a very efficient way of managing those opportunities and enhancing the campaign performance overall. If you look at some of the new features that we have included in OptiScore recommendation, one of them is that the recommendations are now goal aware, which means they understand the goal of your account and your campaigns, and accordingly, the recommendations are personalized for each and every campaign. So in an account, if you have, let's say, 10 different campaigns, and they have 10 different goals, the recommendations will be different for different campaign based on what goal you're trying to achieve with those campaigns. The recommendations are now available for all the campaign types, including search, shopping, display, video, discovery, as well as PMAX and demand gen. So the recommendations support all these campaign types. Also, you can apply recommendations across multiple surfaces. You don't necessarily have to apply it from Google Ads. You can use API to opt into these recommendations. You can run scripts. You can also use Google Ads Editor if you want to bulk apply these recommendations. And then you can also do it through auto applies, which we'll talk about in a little bit of time from now. These recommendations are also compatible with SA360 platform. In fact, if you log into your SA360 platform, you will see these recommendations surface there as well. So recommendations are now compatible with SA360 platform as well. Now, the obvious question you will have is, hey, if I optimize or if I increase or if I improve my Opti score for an account, will there be a direct impact on my campaign performance? The answer is yes. We observed a few accounts, in closed environment over a period of time, and we saw every account that on an average increased their Opti score by 10 points. They saw a median increase of around 14% in conversion, which means optimization score improvement is directly correlated to improvement in your account and campaign performance as well. All right. Now, if you look at the set of recommendations that we received, they ranges and they are from all of these buckets. You have some embedding and budget recommendation. There will be ad and assets. There will be keywords and targeting, repairs, automated campaign, measurement, all sort of recommendation across all the campaigns that you run. Now, for different objective, I think I did mention about recommendations being goal aware. So for different objective, you will see different kinds of recommendation surface in your account. So if you're working, for example, on a campaign which has a different objective as compared to another campaign in the same account with a slightly different objective, you will see different set of recommendation surface even if everything else is same. So objectives are the key insight that recommendation surfaces based on, right? So based on the objective of your campaign, recommendation will keep on differing from one campaign to other. Now, one of the questions that you may have is, hey, how do I measure the impact of recommendations in an account? Now, there are some recommendations for which experiments are a good fit to measure the impact, and before you decide to implement, you can measure those impact through an experiment, and you can create those experiments. For example, if there is a recommendation that suggests you to upgrade to, say, let's say broad match keyword, there's an experiment that you can create for it. Similarly, if there's a recommendation that suggests you to bid more efficiently with maximized conversion value using a target ROAS, and before you want to apply it to your account, you want to create an experiment and see if opting into that bid strategy will actually make positive change to your account or campaign performance or not. You can do that as well. You can create an experiment, and then you can decide if you want to actually opt into that bidding strategy. Similarly, if there is a recommendation for RSA, you will have an option to test, experiment before you want to implement it across your account, right? So currently, the experiments are available for broad match and target ROAS recommendations, and you can apply them either directly through recommendation tab or you can go to Experiments tab in your Google Ad account, and there these recommendations will surface as a card at the top of your screen. Now, in the next few slides, we'll try to bust some of the myths around optimization score and how it works. One of the myths that we get to hear is say, hey, once I dismiss the recommendation, it has gone forever, right? Well, I'm happy to say no, it's not. It's a false narrative. No, if you dismiss a recommendation, it's not gone forever. If that recommendation is still valid, right? For example, if there is a recommendation that says add assets to your RSA, right? Add more headlines to your RSA and improve your RSA ad strength. But you don't have those additional RSAs and you're not willing to adopt into the suggested ones. So you just dismiss it. You did dismiss it, and that instantly you will get see some boost in your optimization score. However, that recommendation is still valid because your RSS ad strength is still not excellent, and that means there's still an opportunity to improve RSS ad strength. So that recommendation will resurface after a few weeks, right? So the recommendations, even if it's dismissed, if those recommendations are still valid, they may resurface after a while. So just keep a lookout for these these nitty and gritty of how recommendation works, because this is one of the myths that we get to hear a lot. Another one that we have is feedback is pointless when dismissing recommendation. So when you dismiss a recommendation, you have an option to choose and share a feedback while dismissing. Again, it's not true. Obviously, it's false. All feedback that you share while dismissing a recommendation goes directly to our product team, and they closely monitor those feedback in order to improve the quality of product and also the quality of recommendation that you get for your account. At this point of time, I would really like to suggest again, if you have any questions, any queries on anything related to optimization score, auto apply recommendation in Google Ads, or you want to share any feedback, please take advantage of comment section, ask us question. We'll try to address them during the session. We want to make this a two-way communication. We don't want a 1 hour of session just us talking. So if you have, as I said, if you have any questions, any query, any feedback, please take advantage of this time and ask us those queries. We'll try to address them during the session. All right. Before I hand it over to Siddharth to take the next segment of our session, which is around auto apply recommendation, I again wanted to reiterate what I said earlier in the session, which is there are exciting opportunities for all the attendees today to get a chance to meet our PM. Also, you can be part of our community, or you can win a swag from Google. All you have to do is you have to scan the QR code that you see on the right side of the screen, and share your feedback about product. Make sure that you share your valid email ID and CIDs in the feedback form. Also, you can engage with us in the chat, and if your queries are of good quality, we'll shortlist you to be part of these three price categories, right? So that's there. I see there's a question from Gannot which says, will optimization score impact quality score? Let me show this on the screen. Right. This is a very valid question, by the way, right? This is extremely intelligent and smart question, which is, hey, if I have say if my optimization score improves, will that have an impact on how my quality score is perceived, or how quality score is given to my keywords? Now, two things. Even though the names are same, even though they are both score, they are entirely different from each other. Optimization score is your account's health, and it's an overall account health, which means if you have a Google Ads account and if you have, let's say, 50 different campaigns running, how your campaigns are structured, if you're following the best practices or not, based on all those, a score is assigned to your account, right? And similarly, the score are now also assigned at campaign level as well. On the other side, quality score is very specific to a keyword. Now, directly, there's no correlation between how optimization score will impact quality score. However, let's take an example. If there's a recommendation that suggests you to improve the quality, say, ad strength of your RSA by adding more variants of headlines and descriptions, and you act upon that particular recommendation, and as a result, your ad strength of that RSA improves. Now, if the ad strength of RSA improves and you are solving or you're adopting that recommendation, obviously your Opti score will also improve. And since RSA's ad strength improved, it means the relevancy of that RSA to your keyword also improves. So your keywords quality score will also be impacted positively, right? So there are some recommendations that can impact the quality score of your keyword, but that doesn't mean always improvement in optimization score is related to quality score. For example, if there is a recommendation that suggests you to change the bid of a keyword, or bid of a campaign, or target of a CPA bidding strategy, or target of a ROAS target bidding strategy, or for that matter, there is a recommendation that suggests you to increase or decrease budget of a campaign. If you act upon such recommendations, they are not going to impact how your keywords relation with the ad copy and the landing page um, uh, is established, and hence the quality score will not be impacted. So yes, some of the recommendation within optimization score, if implemented, specifically the one which is related to keywords, the ones which is related to ad copies, if you act upon them, they will make changes and they will positively impact your quality score as well. However, not all the recommendations is going to impact quality score. Okay, I see another question. I'm glad that we are getting questions now. Please keep them coming. Uh, the whole purpose of us connecting today is to take as many questions and answer them as possible. There's a question from OMG National. It says, "What if those recommendations don't apply to the business?" An example would be a marketing company for towing businesses, and the recommendation is to add irrelevant keywords like "tow near me." All right. So OMG National, you're specifically talking about one of the recommendation, which is add new keywords, maybe, where you'll get a set of keywords suggested based on the landing page that you have and based on the ad copies and current set of keywords that you have in your ad group. And that is the thing, right? Not all the recommendations will always be applicable for your account. Majority of them, most of them, are of top-notch quality, and you'll find the recommendations to be valuable and something which can impact your account and campaign performance. And that's the reason you have an option to dismiss recommendation as well. So if you ever notice such recommendation which is not making a lot of sense to your business and you think these are irrelevant, you can always dismiss such recommendation. The only suggestion that I will have is when you dismiss those recommendation, there is an option to provide a feedback as well. So make sure that you share a feedback. When you do share feedback, based on those feedbacks, the quality of recommendation in your account and in general also improves, right? So make sure that you share a feedback along with it. I'm really sorry, OMG National, because I don't have context of your account, so I might not be able to answer you to the point. But if there is a suggestion of to near me, again, that is entirely on based of how add new keywords works now, is that it looks at your current set of keywords and the landing page, and based on those two parameters, it kind of creates suggested list of keywords, right? So if it's coming as a recommendation and you think it's not relevant, you always have an option to dismiss such recommendation and share a feedback. And in your feedback, you can mention more context about it, and you can say, hey, ours is a car towing business. It's not this keyword is not relevant for us. And with when you do that, as I said, your future the quality of your recommendation will improve. I hope I was able to answer that question. Again, thanks Kenneth and thanks OMG National for bringing those questions up. Others, if you have any such questions, please let them come in as well. Delva says, hello, Delva. Over to you, Siddharth.
Thank you, Stanshu. All right. Now that Shatanshu has basically uh, provided a foundation in terms of explaining as to what is optimization score, how optimization score is basically helping you, how it is utilizing Google's artificial intelligence in order to recommend you certain best practices that you can implement for your accounts and maintain your overall campaign health, right? I'm going to talk to you about auto apply recommendations. Now, auto apply recommendations is nothing but an extension of OptiScore recommendations. So if you talk about the overall subset of recommendations that lie within OptiScore recommendations, out of those, almost 22 recommendations now fall within auto apply recommendations, right? So what does it mean to really auto apply recommendation? is basically that if you are selecting a particular campaign where you want to, kind of like opt into a particular auto apply recommendation, what will that essentially do is that it will auto apply that particular recommendation. Once you opt into the auto apply part, it will basically be able to opt into that particular recommendation automatically on your behalf. And that will be because that particular recommendation has surfaced on your OptiScore recommendation dashboard. So the moment that particular recommendation surfaces on your dashboard, uh, you will be able to kind of like opt into that particular recommendation. Now, looking into some of the most important features about auto apply recommendations. Well, the most important one is that you will be able to spend your time wisely. You will be able to, instead of opting into recommendations that are standardized recommendations and opting into best practices for so many of your campaigns, now you will have the time to be able to spend on more strategic initiatives. And because you will be able to use auto apply recommendations to be able to, kind of like set or implement some of those recommendations automatically as and when they appear. Then you will also be able to capture existing demand. Now, what does that mean? Essentially, what it means is that, auto apply recommendations will be able to act on your behalf as and when these recommendations actually surface, right? So you will be able to capture into a lot of existing demand, because through auto apply, you will be able to respond to these recommendations surfacing on your dashboard in real time. So otherwise, if you opt through the manual route of looking into of looking into your optimizations for dashboard, and then making a decision whether you want to go ahead with the recommendation or not, that may have a time lag to it. Right? So you might have a weekly or a bi-weekly sync when you want to go into your optimization score dashboard, and then you want to look into all of those recommendations that have surfaced for your accounts and whether you should opt into them or not. However, if you use auto apply recommendations, those particular recommendations that you opt in via auto apply, those will be automatically opted in. So as and when they surface, you will be able to respond, and auto apply will be able to act on your behalf, and you will be able to improve all of your campaign health by responding to these recommendations in real time. At the same time, you will be able to drive into growth opportunities. And why we say that is because you will not only be able to scale your business, because you will be able to opt into a lot of recommendations at scale, right? And at the same time, you are using artificial intelligence, and these recommendations will actually be able to help you improve the overall performance of your campaigns. You will be able to drive greater ROAS from your campaigns. You will be able to improve your overall ROI on your digital ad spends. And that is why auto apply recommendations, maintaining a rigor around auto apply recommendations, can actually help you improve your overall performance of your campaigns, right? And please remember that this is not a short-term performance uplift that you see, but it is you have to see that the benefits will accrue to you over a long period of time, because these auto apply recommendations, when kept always on, will eventually tend to provide you the benefits of opting into best practices as recommended by Google Ads, right? Now, what can auto apply recommendations do for your agency? Now, if you talk about at an agency level, right, what are the benefits that accrue to you for through auto apply recommendations? Well, first of all, definitely you are able to scale the best practices, because it is definitely not easy for if you are having so many accounts at an agency level to be able to implement these best practices for all of your campaigns, and then look into all of the ad groups whether they have all of the best practices opted in or not, right? There might be an oversight from time to time, but through auto apply you will be able to scale these best practices and opt into some of the most important recommendations that you want throughout your overall accounts, right? At the same time, you will be able to improve your performance, and that is because these features take into consideration all of your performance history, your campaign settings, and trends across Google. And by using them, you will be able to surely improve the overall performance of your accounts. And then you are also able to boost your efficiency, because your accounts can now manage and spend less time, and now you have more resources to be spent on more strategic initiatives rather than taking on standardized decisions, right? Now, if you are an agency, why should you care about artificial intelligence, or if you're an advertiser too, right? It definitely makes more sense because today we are entering into an age where, incorporation of marketing technology has become very important and crucial and strategic in terms of your overall strategy, business strategy as well. And there are definitely some of the most important benefits that you will accrue by incorporating artificial intelligence into your overall campaign and overall work practices and work processes, right? So definitely there will be a commercial impact because once you start leveraging auto apply and using or leveraging artificial intelligence technologies, you will be able to drive better performance throughout your accounts, right? At the same time, the market perception will be also positive because the overall advertising industry is now moving towards more and more automation and application and incorporation of artificial intelligence. So overall, if you see, you will be able to position yourself as a true pioneer and a leader of incorporating artificial intelligence, and that is definitely something that will help you in terms of your overall positioning, as an advertiser or an agency, right? At the same time, you will be better prepared for future because see, all of these technologies are built upon platforms, and overall, the artificial intelligence will only tend to, continuously improve digital products over a period of time. So once you start incorporating from the base itself into artificial intelligence, you will be able to utilize them better. You will be able to understand what are the scenarios where they work better. And obviously, whenever there is product improvements that are happening, it will be easier for you to incorporate those product improvements. So you'll not get left behind, so to say, right? At the same time, it will be helping you in terms of client satisfaction and overall career development of your employees. In fact, what we have seen is that almost 93% of your brands see it as a valuable or a critical for their agency partners to embed artificial intelligence and market over the next 3 years. So definitely there is a lot of push towards artificial intelligence, right? So now let us look at the overall Google Ads front end and try and understand, what are the how you're going to start using auto apply. So if you have started using auto apply recommendations, now when you go to your Google Ads front end and you go to your recommendations tab, that is where you will be able to see all of your relevant recommendations for your accounts. uh, so as Shitanshu has mentioned, right, about optimization score. So all of these recommendations you can see they are part of your OptiScore recommendations. However, if you want to really leverage auto apply recommendations, you would actually have to look at the top right corner where you will see the auto apply icon. Once you click on this icon, there will be a menu of recommendations that will surface, and you can actually choose which are the particular recommendations that you want to opt in for your accounts and leverage auto apply for those particular recommendations. So, so this will actually help you improve your overall account performance, and this is also definitely a very good campaign management tool that is essential to managing good overall account health. Now, it is very important to understand that once you start using auto apply recommendations, what all can I automate and how to choose what to automate. Right? This is going to be a very strategic decision that you want to take, because definitely auto apply recommendations does help you in terms of your overall account performance. But then at the end of the day, you are always going to be in control. All of these decisions are going to be made by you as to which recommendations you want to choose, uh, and which recommendations you really want to understand and take advantage of. Right? So let us see as to what we can do. So first of all, it is important to understand how these menu of recommendations are actually divided into. Right? So basically, auto apply recommendations will help you balance into growth, efficiency, and repair recommendations, and will help you drive short as well as long-term performance. The two major categories in which these recommendations have been divided. The first one is maintain your ads, and the other one is grow your business. So the maintain your ads will actually help you keep your campaigns and accounts up to date according to the best practices. And basically, the grow your business will actually optimize your targets and improve your ads to get better results. So when we talk about maintain your ads, there are currently 8 recommendations that fall under maintain your ads. These recommendations are most hygiene recommendations. They are very safe to apply. You can start your auto apply opt-in journey. If you are new to auto apply, you can start using these auto apply recommendations, and I would suggest that you start with maintain your ad recommendations. Right? There are some very important and recommendations which you would once you understand these recommendations, you would understand that they actually make sense for most of your accounts. Let's suppose we talk about some of these recommendations, like remove non-serving keywords, right? So this is one particular recommendation that will actually look into the repository of your keywords, try and detect which are those non-serving keywords over a period of 13 months that have not done so well, and they have minimum impressions and minimum performance, and those particular keywords will be uh, removed. Right? At the same time, removing conflicting negative keywords will actually be able to help you identify which are those negative keywords, because over a period of time you might have added some negative keywords in your repository, and today they might be hampering the performance of your positive keywords. Right? So you can use this particular recommendation in order to remove any conflicting negative keywords that might be there. So what we are seeing is that there are a lot of recommendations, like even keyword deduping, which is going to kind of like detect ads to at an ad group level, which are those similar or matching keyword matching variants of some of your keywords which are non-performing keywords, and then they will try to remove any redundancy or duplication of those particular keywords which are having a similar match type. Right? So these set of recommendations are basically hygiene recommendations. They're very safe to apply. You can start using and opting into these recommendations, and most of these recommendations would make sense for most of your accounts. However, in the grow your business recommendations, when you see these recommendations are certain type of recommendations. So one of those recommendations are the opt-in recommendations. So this category of opt-in recommendations actually help you opting into some of these smart bidding recommendations. Now, why they're important is because over a period of or the journey of your campaign, you may not be able to always optimally identify which would be the best smart bidding strategy that I should apply over a period of your campaign journey, right? But this particular auto apply recommendation will actually help you always keep up to date on your smart bidding strategies. At the same time, there are certain target recommendations that help you maintain target of your smart bidding recommendations, like a ROAS or a TCPA, right? And then there are some adjusting recommendations as well. So these will actually be able to adjust your targets over a period of time when they see that there is a greater opportunity for conversions, right? And at the same time, you have those broad match recommendation, and we will go and understand in detail in the coming slides as to how you can club your broad match recommendations along with smart bidding, and what is the impact that it has on your overall account performance. Now, when we talk about maintain your ads recommendations, there are certain very basic benefits that will help you to accrue to you once you start opting into maintain your ad recommendations. First of all, definitely you will be able to save time. You will also be able to adopt into best practices at scale, and at the same time it will have a greater impact in terms of the overall account performance, right? Like Sitanshu mentioned earlier, when there was a study that was conducted in which if you were able to at an average improve your overall optimization score by 10 points, you will actually see your improvement in your performance by 14%, right? So that actually applies, because when you opt into auto apply recommendations, that will help you maintain a very healthy opti score as well, right? So that is a great benefit as well. At the same time, the grow your business will have some strategic benefits in terms of their opt-ins, and when you start opting into these recommendations, they are very focused on profitability. They will actually be able to help you drive profitability and improve your overall return on your digital spends. And they will be able to help you capture opportunity effectively. As I told you, these recommendations will be acting in real time on your behalf. So that will definitely help you over a period of time improve your overall performance. And at the same time, the impact that they will have, because you'll be able to scale these best practices, and overall auto apply recommendations will ensure that you are reacting quickly and to all of the changes in the option. So definitely impact, capturing opportunity, and focus on profitability are some of the most important benefits for your auto apply recommendations. Now, if you are an advertiser, you definitely would have some definite marketing objectives in mind. Right? So if you are a lead generation, right, as an advertiser, now what you can do is definitely you can look at these menu of maintain your ad recommendations that are going to be very beneficial to you. At the same time, you should look at grow your business, and within grow your business, you should definitely look at the conversion focused recommendations like the TCPA opt-in or the set target CPA recommendations in terms of improving your overall lead gen account campaign performance. At the same time, if your marketing objectives lies into online and offline business, in that case, you should definitely look at the maintainer ad recommendations are definitely eligible and to opt in. And at the same time, you should also look into your grow your business recommendations, which are more focused towards improving your overall conversion values, right? So in this, you should look at ROAS recommendations, opt-in recommendations within ROAS, or the target change recommendations or adjusting recommendations within ROAS. So these are some of the recommendations that if you are an online or offline sales business, you should definitely look into this. So what this basically tells you is that, once you are into performance marketing, auto apply recommendations is definitely going to not only help you maintain your overall account health, but as actually it will help you in terms of, overall, improving your campaign performance over long and short period of time. Now, it's very important that, a question that arises is that how can you identify the strategic recommendations that are best for you? And you would actually be able to understand that which are those recommendations which you can actually, identify as best recommendations. So now what we understand is that, okay, now smart bidding recommendations are very important. But what is the benefit, or what is the benefit that accrues if I look into adding smart bidding recommendations to auto apply route? Right? So let us see at what are the benefits. So when auto apply recommendations, you will actually be able to control the most optimal bidding strategy. So you will actually be able to control that you are on the most optimal bidding strategy. And where will this help you? This will help you with recommendations like broad match and RSA recommendations, because this will is very important that you should be on the optimal bidding strategy. And that bidding strategy hierarchy that will be covered through auto apply recommendations. Right? You will also be able to drive overall strategy of your account, and AR will actually ensure that you are reacting quickly to the changes in the auction. At the same time, if you're talking about keyword and coverage recommendations, recommendations like broad match and adding new keywords will only be surfaced when you are using actually smart bidding recommendations as well. Because once you club smart bidding recommendations with broad match, all right, then that is a power pairing recommendation, because broad match actually is able to improve your overall coverage, but at the same time, smart bidding recommendations make sure that you are actually converting the most important or the most highly convertible, or those particular options that you are participating in, which have the highest probability of conversions. Right? So whereas smart bidding acts as a wall, so that you just don't improve your coverage, but at the same time, while improving your coverage, you make sure that you are always participating in the most those particular queries and those particular options where the conversion of probability is highest. Now, another question that we see is that, why leverage the auto apply or smart bidding recommendations, right? So there are certain benefits of leveraging it into auto apply, right? So what are those benefits? So definitely, performance optimization is one of them. By ensuring that your account is always on the best possible bid strategy. And by that what we mean is that, let's suppose you're on maximize conversions, and at the same time the auto apply recommendations engine is able to understand that now you have the capability to go into a higher smart bidding recommendation. So it will probably recommend you to go into TCPA, and then it will recommend you to go into TOS. So as you move into your overall campaign performance, the auto apply recommendations engine will actually be able to assess which is the best possible smart bidding strategy, and that will be recommended to you. At the same time, you are also able to do future proofing, because these recommendations will now only move you up the smart bidding ladder and not down the smart bidding ladder. Right? And this is very important for recommendations like broad match and RCs. Right? At the same time, you are also able to take competitive advantage, because you are able to react to these changes very quickly, and you are able to act in real time. Now, again, there are those recommendations which are the target adjustment recommendations, right? So these recommendations that we see in terms of set CPA target adjustment or set ROAS target adjustment recommendations. Now, what are these recommendations and why are these so important in terms of auto apply? So once you opt into auto apply, what will happen is that, first of all, you will have a real-time response to these auction changes. And that is very important because it makes you more agile in terms of taking decisions. At the same time, these are very forward-looking simulations. So your increase, so what it will do is it will be able to assess that whenever there is an opportunity arising for you to improve your conversions, you can actually become a little aggressive and you can change your targets ROAS or your TCPA, uh, overall targets in terms of improving your overall conversions. So these recommendations will only act in a scenario where it sees that there is definitely a greater opportunity for improving your conversions by narrowly becoming more aggressive in terms of your overall targets that you have set for your TCP or your TDS. Now, why do we add broad match keywords or new keywords automatically? So what are the benefits of adding broad match keywords automatically is, when you have broad match along with smart bidding, it will always improve, it will always focus on the high performing queries. Right? And it will always try to give you results and win you auctions within high performing queries. And that will overall improve your overall conversions. At the same time, you don't need to manage millions of keywords or millions of variations of your keywords, so it will reduce your workload. And at the same time, these are based on forward-looking simulations, so there is a lot of preemptment that goes into it. There is a lot of statistical modeling that goes into it, and because of that, because of this statistical modeling, it is able to predict which are those particular situations where you can actually use your or you can participate in those particular auctions where you will get higher conversion probabilities, right? So this is why opting into broad match into automatically along with smart bidding will actually give you better results. Now, what are those best practices to get the most out of auto apply recommendations? Now, we have understood that these are the certain categories of auto apply recommendations that we have, and what are the improvements, what are the product features, and how these particular recommendations actually act. What are the logics behind these particular recommendations that are acting? Now, there are certain best practices that we need to understand in terms of making sure that these best practices are relevant so that we can make the most out of these recommendations. Hey, HouseMart. Right. So we have these particular recommendations out here. So what are those best practices? First of all, we should always review our measurement and privacy recommendations, because these are very important. Once we have these privacy recommendations, always look into these privacy recommendations and make sure that these privacy recommendations are being adhered to, because once that is there, you will not have any kind of hurdles in terms of your privacy policies that come into play. At the same time, you should always check that your conversion actions are set up properly. So you should always make sure that your conversion actions are as per your overall expectation from your account performance, and you're setting accurate conversion actions so that the artificial intelligence in the background can understand what are your objectives and it can drive you towards those particular marketing objectives. Right? Also, when you're running brand campaigns, please always ensure that you're always using an optimal bidding strategy. In fact, if you're using a target impression share bidding strategy, actually the artificial intelligence and auto apply recommendation will be able to detect that this is a branding campaign where you're using a target impression shape, and it will not actually automatically move you into a different strategy, right? So this is one of the benefits that you should always look into while you are running any branded accounts. At the same time, you should also set accurate conversion values, because once you set accurate conversion values, the recommendations engine will be able to learn over a period of time, and it will be able to help you achieve into those particular conversion values most optimally going forward, right? Also, you should have optimal budgets and review your budget recommendations regularly, right? So always review your budget recommendations. Please understand that yes, all of the auto apply recommendations do not at any point of time will make or any changes to your budgets. Auto apply recommendations in a way in itself do not make any changes to your budgets. However, you should always see that any of your campaigns in which you're trying to use your grow your business recommendations, those particular recommendations, those particular accounts where you're trying to improve your overall performance, they don't get too limited by budget also. So you should go into your probably your optimization score and look into your optimization score dashboard to see that all of your accounts, none of those accounts are actually being limited by budget, because that means that there is a greater probability of improvement of those particular accounts. However, please note that none of your auto apply recommendations are actually going to impact any of your budget changes. So these are some of the best practices that you can ensure in order to get the most out of your AI powered solutions and your recommendations. Now, as an advertiser, what should be your next, overall process that you should adapt, or what is the process that you should adapt as an advertiser in order to incorporate all of the, optimization score as well as uh, auto apply recommendations? Well, first of all, you should always keep visiting your recommendations page, right? You should always make sure that you are applying recommendations, and you should also see that you should review your recommendations over a period of time. Try to see that these particular recommendations, you are able to track these particular recommendations. And then also, if you are able to identify which are the non-performing ad assets and optimize them for best results. And finally, you should review your optimization score regularly with your digital marketing teams, right? And when you set up this particular overall rigor for this process, you will be able to optimally incorporate all of the auto apply recommendations, all of your OptiScore recommendations. What I would suggest is that you should have either a weekly or a bi-weekly kind of like a sync, where you can actually look into your optimization score recommendations over a period of time. And at the same time, you should always be able to decide whether you want to use your auto apply recommendations, which are those particular accounts where auto apply recommendations make sense, and periodically you should keep opting into auto apply recommendations as well, right? Great. Any last words from you, Shitansh?
No, I think we're good. I think we did share a little bit of detail on optimization score and a lot on auto apply. So thank you so much, Siddharth, for doing that. Just one request for everyone. There is a feedback form that we have for product. So if in case you have any feedback that you want to share directly with our product team, you can use that link, and you can share your feedback there. But yeah, it was wonderful having you all on the call today. Thank you so much for your time. I hope you found something interesting and something new today in this session. And I hope you'll be able to manage and optimize your campaign better going forward. Also, you can share this link with your colleague and your team that you think can benefit with such session. Again, we appreciate you being here on the call today. Thank you so much.